Hey, friends. Powwow guy Rob Phoenix here. Happy holidays. I just wanted to kind of do my annual talk about one of the traditions that's very important to me and my family, and that's the celebration of St. Nicholas Day. Uh, Growing up, because I have Austrian ancestry, my grandparents celebrated St. Nicholas Day. And they said that it was on the night of December 5th, we'd wake up, St. Nicholas would come and bring us our gifts. Nothing major, just a couple of things. And then on Christmas Eve, it was the baby Jesus brought the other presents. So that it was an interesting tradition to grow up with. I'm not sure how we felt about it. I don't really remember that long ago, but I just remember like baby Jesus went to my grandparents' house on Christmas Eve, but at our house, Santa Claus came. And what was interesting too is that the with my grandparents, St. Nicholas would come on the night of the 5th, but they belonged to this rod and gun club. And there'd be a Belsnickle there every year. So it's just kind of a just this conglomeration of all these different traditions. So, and I think some people are confused in this day and age about who's what and what's who and what's where and all this. So, to put things simply, you saw the celebration of Saint Nicholas Day in the German-speaking countries because the most influential part of my family tree for me and my life were the ones that came from Austria. Excuse me. St. Nicholas was an Austrian celebration. And on the eve of the St. Nicholas feast day, it became intertwined with the story of the Krampus. Krampus was originally thought to be some sort of like a general term for a type of creature, like these Krampus creatures. And Krampus is a relatively new kind of monster creature. Some people think it has all these like pre-Christian roots. It's possible the image may have been inspired by something pre-Christian, but Krampus is a relatively new, and by that I mean maybe in the past like 400 or 500 years, became sort of the shadow version of Saint Nicholas. And so Krampus would be seen traveling with Saint Nicholas, carrying a bundle of sticks, a bundle of birch rods. And so St. Nicholas would give oranges and candies, sweets, maybe some nuts and fruits and such to the good kids, whereas the Krampus might test them to recite a Bible verse or something or sing a hymn or whatever. And if the child couldn't do that, they'd get, playfully patted with the birch switches. But in some regions, the story of Krampus became more of a horror tale. Like, if you were good, you'd get rewarded from St. Nicholas. If you were bad, the Krampus would beat you with these sticks, stuff you in a basket he was carrying, and then like drag you off to hell. Pretty hardcore for a St. Nicholas celebration. But anyway, that's where that was. And in southwestern Germany, where much of Pennsylvania Dutch culture is influenced, they had what was called the Pelznickel, which was Nicholas in furs, which was sort of an amalgamation of both St. Nicholas and Krampus, like rolled into one character. So it'd be more like a darker version of St. Nicholas, covered in soot, whatever, carrying the sticks, but also carrying a sack of toys. And so that idea was brought to Pennsylvania with the German, ways of immigration. And here the pronunciation changed to Belsnickle. So Belsnickle carried on that tradition of being sort of the grimy version of Saint Nicholas. And then, of course, the Dutch, like the Holland Dutch, when they immigrated to the United States, they settled more like in New York. They brought with them Saint Nicholas, but in their language, it was Sinter Klaus. So, Americans being what we are, we heard that as Santa Claus. And so that character was born. So it's just really interesting. So now we have in Pennsylvania Dutch culture, we have the Belsnickle. I was not raised with Krampus at all. but that's part of the Austrian ancestry. That's way, way back, like 200 years or so. But I find it very interesting that Krampus has seen sort of a respark of interest here in the United States in the past, like, I don't know, 20 years or so. So it's if you know, it's kind of a Catholic belief, mostly because it was largely like the pre-Reformation Catholics who did these saint days and such. And now neo-paganism has picked it up as sort of I don't know, an anti-Christmas kind of demon or something. But that's not historically what he was. He was more like the shadow, companion to Saint Nicholas. You were good, you got Saint Nicholas. You were not so good, you got the Krampus. So anyway, fun times. There was a movie called Krampus that was made in 2015. I actually love the movie. They get the story kind of wrong. They have Krampus coming on Christmas Eve when really it would have been December 5th, St. Nicholas Eve. But that's okay. I think it's a great movie. They make Krampus very cool, very scary. And I love all the little minions and such. There's like a gingerbread man. He comes down the chimney on this chain with a big hook on the end. Like, I just think it's very cool. So that's part of our Christmas and St. Nicholas, traditions of watching that every year. If you haven't seen it yet, I definitely would check it out. 2015, it's just called Krampus. There are a lot of hokey things like Mother Krampus. There was never any such character, but I mean, you might like that. I don't know. I didn't care for it. But so anyway, that's the muddled up. Oh, one more thing. Because the grandparents said the baby Jesus brought the gifts on Christmas Eve. It's also known as the Christ child or ChristKindl. Christ child, of course, ChristKindl, which of course Americanized became the name ChristKindl. So you can see how all these different like legends and stories and myths and characters and such all kind of blended together and got confused and made all this chaos until we eventually ended up with Krampus, Belsnickle, Pelsnickle, Saint Nicholas, ChristKindl, Santa Claus, fun stuff. So whatever characters you're into, just enjoy it, have fun with it. And I hope you all have a great St. Nicholas Day, St. Nicholas Eve, and St. Nicholas Day. We always traditionally, well, I can't say traditionally in our family, St. Nicholas brings a few little tiny gifts, to wake up to on the 6th. And then we usually make some sort of pork for dinner. It's just kind of the way we do it in our house. So either pork roast, pork chops, or something. So we'll do that again this year. It's on a Wednesday. I have work off. Bill has work off. Just Sonny still has school. Too bad for him. So anyway, that's it, guys. Enjoy your holidays. God bless you guys. Love you. And let's talk soon.